And then, of course,
But
it
here,
merged with Campi.
yeah, but here in the Philippines, no. But here in the Philippines, since there is really no political party to speak of except political agrupations,
Mm.
groupings like that, and some ideological perceptions,
Mm.
and also our political system
Yeah.
is such that it perverts all these parties.
Mm. It's all personalities. It's not
Personality based, so whoever wins,
Mm.
it becomes a winning brand.
Mm. Do you think that's true with President Aquino?
Yes. Prior to the death of Cory, and I was a member of cabinet of Cory,
Mm.
prior to the death of Cory, Noy Noy was not heard of. But when when she died, the people who were nostalgic for what was good, remember, you were under two desperate but problematic government under Arab and the GMA.
Then GMA, yeah.
So they were longing, as Filipinos has always, this hope springs eternal for them. So they have always this expectation that perhaps the next regime will be better. And it so happened the Aquino, Noy Noy, won because of the nostalgia also.
Yeah. So,
And we cannot blame that because the Philippines is a personality-oriented voter, no? So he won, and also LP is now the winning brand. And since LP is the winning brand, mana flows from the winning brand and our system here. So
yeah,
everybody now
in Congress joining the
Congress
LP.
joining.
We
So
used to
it
be
is,
with Lakas Campi.
now this is unheard of in politically mature and developed countries in Europe. Okay? So that is the and nothing beats successful working models.
Mm.
In the European working models is the centrists, democratic groups have proven themselves to be a winning model,
They're the most successful.
the most successful. And therefore, it's something that is worth emulating, although you cannot just transplant here in the Philippines. You have to look and get into the universal concept and see what can be translated here in the Philippines.
Where do you think President Aquino lies? Is he left, right, center?
Well, he is very much of a centrist. Although in Germany, they are also attached, by the way, to a German group, the Friedrich Ebert, which is the new, which is a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit liberal, but still within the centrist grouping. But we are not, as we said here in the Philippines, we are not ideologically driven. We are personally based driven group, which we or the CDM or the Political Institute is trying to change and alter.
What you're trying to do is convince at least one or several of the political parties to adopt the centrist philosophies. Is that right? Would that be fair?
Well, that would be fair, but you know, what we are trying to do instead is we are trying to get young professionals, young people, who still have the idealism of youth, and more importantly, the arrogance of youth, that they can change their community, and we are feeding on that arrogance.
So you're recruiting young people to join
The CDM.
the CDM.
Yes, the
How are you
CPI,
doing?
Political Institute.
But you're not a political party.
We are not yet a political party. I am a president of the institute. The job of the institute is to widen the base of centrist Democrats, which involves CDM, which is a movement, which involves the Green Team, which is also a movement, which involves PDP, which is a political party. Okay, so these are basically the grouping where we could work on, because these are the centrist Democrats in the Philippines.
Would you be able to work with the Liberal Party, for example?
Yes, in fact, we have been trying to push a relationship with liberals.
What about the Lakas Campi?
You see, the problem with the company is it is non-existent. Well, I don't know. I don't know where they are now, because
Bong Revilla was elected president last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, that rests my case. You know, what we're saying is not to disparage the guy, but is he known to be following citrus principles of the enhancement of the dignity, social market economy, political reform, the rule of law? So these are some things which should be studied there. Except now that's still based on political personalities now. I don't know where the Lakas MP is now. Like, you have the Venetia, for example, who was one of the founders.
But he's
He
retired.
is now he's now attached to or with PDP Laban. So I don't know what his position is. Well,
No, this is the young de Venecia, the older one, the former speaker.
Yeah, the former speaker is I don't know where he is in the
He
political
seems to
spectrum.
be semi-retired. But his wife, Manang Gina, won as a congresswoman
Of Lakas.
of their home province. I don't know under what party.
So that's the point. See, we don't even know which is what in what parties. Because in the Philippines, there is really no political party to speak of. These are just political agrupations with varied agenda interests. And there are truly some people there with the agenda for the Filipino people. But there are also there who must assume political power in order to protect the interests of serve the interests of the oligarchy, and also attend to their dynasty. Okay?
Would you consider the Communist Party of the Philippines as the one true political party
No,
with an ideology
Well, this is
that
a
never
myth.
changes?
This is a myth. Okay? I don't know if there is a political CPP to speak of, but right now they have been marginalized, and a lot of, I don't know what the people are doing, but they are no longer fighting the political field, and they've never been allowed to fight the political field.
In the first elections when Cory became president, the CPP had candidates.
Well, they will not accept that.
They were not accepted by the people, but yes. When we go to the political parties, what do you think is best? Should we go back to the two-party system of pre-martial law years, just like the US has a two-party system, or should we stick to the multi-party system which we now have?
The multi-party system is a perversion of the during the Cory administration. Remember, in
everyone wanted to run
yeah,
for
in
president.
1987, when they wrote the Constitution, Cory did not believe in political parties, 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 political parties. So was carried over. So you have 100 political parties now that is supposed to serve what they call sectors or marginalized sectors. But how can you talk about marginalized sectors headed by Arroyo? So it's a perversion. Now, it is a perversion of the German system.
So, in brief, what you would like is for the Philippines to more or less follow the German system?
Not necessarily a German system. What we're saying is we would like to have 2 or 3 at the most political parties.
True political parties.
2 to 3 at the most, with politically distinctive or ideologically distinctive principles of governance.
Would the UK be a model, for example?
Well, there are a lot
their
of
Labour
models. Yeah, well,
parties.
you have Labour Party, like in the United States. You have the liberal and conservative, and they clash. And
Yes.
when they clash, they bring about the best for the people. This is exactly what we want here also, that there has to be a clash between political parties, real political parties, so that what comes is the best idea after that clash. Right? Wouldn't it be nice? You clash. The best idea that is then presented to the people, and the people would know what is the best ideas for them before they gift, before the elective position, the party members are gifted the privilege to govern.
So, final question for Philippine News. where do you go from here? You're now an organization. You're not a political party.
Yeah.
What exactly is the direction of this organization of yours?
Okay, let me point that that's a very good question. Well, the short term and the long term.
How do you help develop the economy of the Philippines, for example?
No, we're not talking even about the economy yet. Because
The political system
all
affects
the
the economy.
politicians have their own ideas about pagbabago. You know, that's the
Yeah.
most abused.
It's generic.
Yes, the most abused word in the Filipino language. Pagbabago. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry, a politician says pagbabago. They don't know where to go. That's why in the short term, the CDM, composed of young professionals, they're now about 500 all over the country. Jews paying ito. Huh?
So 500 young men and women.
As of today lang yan.
Mm.
Maybe 4 to 500 as of today. They are what we call, and the short term is, they are going to get more adherents because this is a numbers game.
Grassroots.
Not necessarily grassroots. Middle class. They start with the middle class. They are Jews paying. And not only that, they have they exist in between elections. Hindi lang during elections.
Hindi siya pasulpot-sulpot.
Oh, not only that, they have internal discipline like a political party. In short, they are acting and operating like a political party. That way they learn to govern. Like our example always is among themselves. I'd ask them, in order that a doctor is allowed to go the operating table, he needs at least 10 years to study before he's allowed to go to the operating table to open anybody's body. No? A lawyer, for example, in order to defend in front of has to study 10 years and pass the bar. How many years that a governor and mayor have to learn in order to be elected, and then when elected will govern 10,000, 20,000, 500, I don't know how many thousands of people. The Constitution only says that he should be able to read and write. This is not only silly, but it's something. And you see, what is the main currency of change to influence events and to change the laws? Political power. That is the main currency. And the only legitimate group that must have it is the political party that must legitimately fight and capture political power. Our young people must learn this so that they will have to learn how to use political power, because political power can be used well, misused, and abused. And there is a learning process. This is the beautiful thing about the CDM. They are beginning to learn that and learning how to govern so that later on, when it is their time to run for public office, they know and they have the values of governance, good governance.
So there you have it, Philippine News readers and viewers. Mr. Lito Lorenzana, who is the head of a political movement, not a political party. This is the Centrist Democracy Political Institute and the Centrist Democratic Movement. For Philippine News, this is Betting Dolor. Thank you.
I think, thank you very much.
I'm not yet done. I have a few more questions.